Hi, and welcome back to CoZumel, ChiHuaHua. It has been a while, but I wanted to give the most amount of time to do this review on the farmer's dog and give it the time it deserved to see how it really worked with my dog and not just, oh, I used it for 2 weeks and it's wonderful. I really wanted to give a great, honest review about this company and how it works specifically towards my dog. Every dog is different, and what works for them may not work for other dogs, vice versa. So this is my honest review on the farmer's dog and how it worked with my dog, who is a small blue Chihuahua, 7 pounds, little guy. So let's get into it. The main reason I wanted to try the farmer's dog is because the previous food that I've used for my dog's first 4 years in life, they changed the formula and was no longer sourcing it from Canada, and they were making it all in the US factories. And I could tell by the specific formula in the US, my dog was drinking more, was peeing more, just like was acting strange, and it wasn't the normal wonderful benefits that he was getting before with that Canada factory made formula. So it really disappointed me that I could no longer get the bag, because around 2 years they kind of switched it, and for 2 years I was still able to get the Canada factory bag. If you guys are wondering what brand this was, it was Origin, dry food, really good dry kibble. They were in Canada, sourced it to the US, have factories in Kentucky. I had used different products, like when he was a puppy and then as an adult, and Tundra is the main one I use that still was through Canada. But they ended up changing the formula. My dog didn't do as well on it and got me exploring new options for my dog. So that brings us to March of 2020, when the pandemic hits, and I said, you know what? There's this great deal for farmer's dog. Let's try it out. It gets delivered right to your house. What a great deal in a pandemic. So they sent it over to us. We tried it. He was doing really great on it for the first couple of months. He did really good. He had some issues with eating it too fast and still being hungry. It's very expensive. So I was doing the 28 days, I believe, and it was like about $100 for that 28 days. So he always just seemed hungry, and he would cry at me, and he never cried at me before with food. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I cannot afford to buy all of this food for you and give you all this. But I was like, okay, he's doing good on it. Let's just continue with it. He was doing these weird things, like he gulped his food too fast. So he would do like making weird noises. I was freaking out. I thought something was wrong with him, but it's just because he was like inhaling his food too fast. So we bought like a slow dish feeder. I had to end up like spoon feeding it to him, and I was like, this is crazy. Why am I doing this? But I was like, okay, his coat is still shiny. He's doing better. He's not drinking as much. His BM looks great. So we continued it. And as time went on, it just got too expensive for me. I just felt like he was never satisfied. He was always crying at me. I was feeding him with a spoon because it was ridiculous, because he loved the taste of it so much. I tried all the flavors. We stuck, turkey was the best for him, but it was just getting too much. So I decided I wanted to switch back, like kind of do half and half, give him some dry kibble and the farmer's dog, because I really did like the product and I thought he really enjoyed it. So I tried to transition him back into some dry kibble and kind of add it into the meal. And at this point, I was just kind of fed up of just how ridiculous the feeding had to be, because before I could just put the dish on the ground, he took care of himself. He would graze it throughout the day with dry kibble and was totally fine. So this, like, I was like, okay, you're 4 years old. What is happening? Why is there being so much difficulty? In, I believe it was May or end of May, June, I started to transition him back to dry kibble. And I followed all the instructions. It was a slow transition. And he had the worst, I'm telling you, the worst diarrhea. It was so bad. I followed all the steps. Like, his stomach was so sensitive. And I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? So I had to put him on a bland diet, had to take him to the vet in the pandemic where they don't allow you to go in. And my dog does not like strangers. He's terrified. He's a Chihuahua. Like, if you know Chihuahuas, this one is the spot on Chihuahua behavior. And it was one of the most, like, traumatic experiences. Like, it was so frustrating. So I put him on the bland diet, and he got some, I think it was charcoal pills they gave him to help his diarrhea, and it literally was awful. Like, he did not recover like he usually recovers. So for the 4 years, so at this time he was 4 years old, and in that 4 years he may have had stomach issues like 2 times that were really bad, where I had to take him to the vet to get something, but he recovered pretty quickly. And this time was different. He was not recovering how he used to recover, and it was very upsetting. I had to, like, put him in the bathtub, and, like, he is so good at going outside that he would, like, sit there and shake. And, like, it was so bad because he's trained so well to go outside, and he doesn't want to have accidents. He doesn't want that. But it's like, it was the middle of the night. We needed just sit in the bathtub, do whatever. Like, I don't care. I felt so bad for him. So put on the bland diet, and I was like, okay, dry kibble's not working. So I put him back onto the farmer's dog. Again, he's not satisfied. He's crying, just acting like he loved the food so much. See, this is the thing. He loved the taste of it so much that he was crying because he wanted more and more and more. But then it's like, I can't serve you this much because it's not good for you. That's too much food for you. So it wasn't filling up his belly. So let's fast forward, throughout the summer, have him on the farmer's dog. He would get random diarrhea, and I was like, what is going on? So sometimes I thought, like, well, sometimes it didn't come fully frozen, and maybe it gone bad, or maybe it was a bad batch. And then there was times where, like, maybe 3 of the bags were good, but then the next couple of bags, he would get these stomach issues. And I was just like, what in the world is happening? You have never had this much of a problem before. Why? This is so frustrating. So again, I was fed up. The food was expensive. He liked it, but he was having these stomach issues. So I talked to my friend who's a vet tech and was talking to vets. I tried to transition him back to dry kibble. I tried the Science, the Hill Science brand. I'll put a correction here if it's wrong, but she recommended it. That's what the vets recommend. It was for sensitive stomachs and all of that. And again, he got crazy diarrhea, and I followed the slow transitions, teeny amounts of it, just doing over a week of transition to get him, and his stomach was still having problems, and it was so frustrating. So again, had to put him on the bland diet, which was my vet recommended ground chicken, because we tried the ground turkey and it wasn't going well with him. So we did ground chicken, white rice, some pumpkin. I can make a whole video just on if your dog is having these stomach problems, I can help you, because I've gone through it all. This whole pandemic has been crazy. In this past year of his life, it's very frustrating. So again, I transition him from the bland diet back to farmer's dog. I'm like, okay, let me give them another chance. And it's about August, September. We're in the fall now, let's say. And I'm like, let's give them another chance. So I give it another chance because, again, he loves the food. Most everything is good. His BM's good. You know, they want their BM to be Play-Doh, like feel like Play-Doh. It was great. Like when he'd have it and there was a good batch. I'm going to say a good batch because I truly think there are bad batches. Of the experience I've had over the past 10 months, I think personally, my experience, that it went, I don't know, bad either in getting to my house or in the factory or the freezer. I would put it to the freezer, to the fridge to thaw out, and he'd be fine with a couple bags, and then all of a sudden something would happen. So if you guys have any other experiences with this, let me know. If you have any other thoughts or ideas about this, let me know. That's just what my experience has been, and it's been super frustrating. Again, he would get diarrhea. This dog has never had so many stomach issues before, and it really frustrated me. So I'm going to list some pros and cons, and then I'm going to tell you what I finally did. So this is the little guy we're talking about, CoZumel, if you haven't seen the other videos. Little Chihuahua. Here he is. He's so cute. He's a blue Chihuahua, but he has like tricolor. He has white, tan, and his like silvery coat here. But yeah, so this little guy, I love you. He's like, what is happening? So anyway, so pros of the company. Try to get him up here. Pros of the company for not HelloFresh. That's funny. I could do reviews for HelloFresh too. For Farmer's Dog, the Farmer's Dog. So pros. He thought it was so tasty, right? He gulped it down. Was really tasty, and he wanted more of it. That's a pro for you, right? Cons. Made him have a weaker stomach. Was expensive. I think there was some bad batches. It doesn't help with their teeth, with their plaque. Once you go and not having the dry kibble to get all the plaque off their teeth, you really have to be really working and cleaning their teeth all the time. I don't know if you can see. He's still not on dry kibble. He's on, I make his own food now, which we could get into a whole different video. But I'm trying to find ways to make his teeth strong, get that plaque off. Yeah, it's been a headache. I wish I never changed and would have just found a dry kibble that works. So many vets recommend certain dry kibble. There's so much that goes into making your own food, getting these companies like the Farmer's Dog or Ollie or different things, different human grade food, the Honest Kitchen we've tried before. Yeah, there's so much, but for the first 4 years of his life, he didn't really have any issues, and now he has a weak stomach and having stomach issues and going to the bathroom. So I finally decided to end using the Farmer's Dog in December. I still think they're a great company. They have the best intentions. It just doesn't work for my specific dog. So all you can do, depending on your dog, I think for smaller dogs, it's harder with their stomach, or certain dogs, they just don't have the strong of stomach. It's so frustrating because he was doing so good on his dry kibble. They changed the formula. It was really frustrating. I've always wanted to do fresh food with him, but I know the benefits of having like chewing on things and the plaque, and it was just more convenient, I guess. The Farmer's Dog was not convenient. Like if you're taking trips, you have to keep things refrigerated, make sure it's not going bad. So I guess cons is just convenience and traveling, and as of like dry kibble is easier. But for the next video, or for his little food journey that we're going on, I'm still dealing with everything, and I've decided to fully make his food fresh. So it's a lot, not as expensive, and And so far, he's been doing amazing. I started in January. It's the end of February. So far, no stomach issues. So wish me luck. I'm going to give it maybe another month. I mean, I'll make a video of what I'm doing, but I'll keep you guys updated. It's just, I don't know what I got myself into when I started the farmer's dog. I mean, it's not the company. They're a great company, all that. It just didn't work for my dog. And that's sad, but it happens. Just like with the dry kibble, the Origin Tundra didn't work for my dog once they switched it to the US factory. So you have to know your dog and what works for them. And right now it's me making it with the recommendation of vets. So, so stay tuned. Make the decision yourself, but yeah, there's pros and cons to everything you do. So stay tuned. This is CoZumel, and this is our fun channel. He's so fun. He's 5 years old now, right? You're 5? You good boy. So this is just our journey. It's been a crazy journey, and thank you guys so much. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, give me advice on what you have about different foods. I'm going to review different bowls and nail clippers. If you can see, that's a whole nother story. So there's so much of a journey I can take you guys on. It's been a while since I last posted, but I really just wanted to give it time and be able to review it really well and give it that time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Bye. Say bye.